the, whatever it is, the 24th, I think, August 2025, Sunday. And this is a video about marketing and business and AI and customer support, specifically about how Microsoft uses AI and bots and chatbots and automated voice response and voicemail and email and web page forms, all in order to reduce the amount of live humans who actually answer phones to provide any support, which would be all good and wonderful if their automatic systems worked. But the problem is they don't. They're really horrible. They're poorly designed. They send people into infinite loops that they can't get out of, like requiring somebody to use an app that is unusable. For example, if you can't log in to your Microsoft account with an account that you need to log in with specifically in order to access some information that's only in that account. And then in order to log in, they require you to use the Authenticator app. But if you don't have the Authenticator app, if you've never installed it before, like the Microsoft one specifically, and you try to install it, when you try to log into the Authenticator app, guess what you need to do? You need to verify that you're logging into the Authenticator app with the Authenticator app that you can't get into, right? So in other words, you try to install the Authenticator app, try to log into it, and it tells you to click on a number in the app you're trying to log into, which obviously you can't do because you can't log into it. Microsoft makes no apologies for these unintelligent ways of doing things, these incredibly bad user interfaces and user experiences that they create, these endless loops, these dead ends. I have tried calling them a lot at their offices where I am located right now in Israel. They have an office in Israel. I've tried calling them multiple times. I spoke to them a week and a half ago or so, and they required me to wait another week so their system could flush out the cache, apparently, or some kind of nonsense. I waited. They made it already 3 weeks. And they told me if it didn't work then to call them back. So I called them back. They didn't answer. They sent me down the voicemail rabbit hole. And all I could do was leave voicemails. I couldn't even, instead of going through their usual robot channels that lead me to dead ends that say, so we're sorry, we cannot provide you with help right now, or whatever, right? They're a silly robot. I could not speak to anybody. I couldn't even reach a salesperson, right? Because all the numbers in Israel, really, it all routes through the same number. If you call their main office, or if you call their listed number for sales or support or anything you call, most of the numbers are actually dead. They don't work anymore. Why is that? Because they fired most of the people that do customer support and service and anything to do with interacting with actual people, right? They become like a little black box. They don't want anything. They don't want to speak to their customers. God forbid a customer should have a problem that their automatic system can't answer. They don't want to help, which leaves a person in a quandary, which oftentimes means that the person no longer has access to their product or their service, which they paid for, and they still have a license for it, and they can't access it. And like if you own like an Xbox or a laptop or a tablet, or whoever owns a phone, do people still own Microsoft phones? You might have to reset the thing, like factory reset the hardware device and kill all the content or all the information on that device. It's just there. And I posted messages to social media, Twitter, no response. LinkedIn, no response. I got a response from somebody who's a cousin of someone who works at Microsoft, and they said they would forward it to them, which was amazing. Thank you. Shout out to you. I don't know if you want to be named in this video, but you know who you are if you see this. So thank you very much for passing that on to your cousin. Haven't heard back from said cousin because, well, it was a weekend, to be fair, and now it's only Sunday, but it is Sunday early afternoon. Still no word back from anybody. None of the voicemails I left last week have been replied to. All the emails that they have listed on the Microsoft.com website to contact them do not work. They're all bad email addresses. like unknown addresses, invalid addresses. They're just not real. Microsoft has become an unapproachable company, which is ridiculous. Like, could I call corporate headquarters and ask to speak to somebody there? No, I can, but you know what they're going to do, right? They're going to route me through to their automatic voice system. How do I know that? Well, because I've already done that. I've already called corporate headquarters, attempted to reach people that I know at the highest levels of the company. Nope, can't do it. Their secretaries just route me through, because they all have secretaries. They don't answer their phones directly pretty much ever, even if I have their direct numbers. It's always executive assistants who answer with the phone, which is perfectly understandable. But at least the executive assistant should be able to route you through to a live person that can do support. Nope. I mean, maybe they can, but they choose not to, right? I'm sure they have an internal directory that they can route employees directly. If they're having a conversation with somebody on the phone that's in the company, and then somebody says, "Oh man, my device broke. Patch me through to whatever." I'm sure they could do that, but they don't. At least when you're an outside, person calling. I posted messages on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Blue Sky. None of it seems to matter. I'm now turning to you, YouTube community. Hello to the people. What does it say here? Do I love what? How about a shout out? Okay, shout out to you. Is that Mo? Oh God. What was? Okay. Who's your name? Okay. So Microsoft service, in terms of customer service, the quality of service has fallen through the floor. It's not even, it's lower. It's just fallen through the floor. Now you can say, well, you're just one person. They have thousands of people to deal with every day. Why should they care about you? Listen, that may be true. That's not a reason for a company that's, worth trillions of dollars, right? It's one of the most valuable companies in terms of its market capitalization. One of the most valuable companies in the world. It's no reason for them to not have the right amount of people to answer the calls. There's literally no excuse for it, right? Much smaller companies answer the phones. You know why? Because they still want the business, which to me is a sign that Microsoft does not want the business. And again, the only reason that we even have this Microsoft device is because, for whatever reason, it was necessary to get one at the time. And I can assure you, this makes me second guess any future Microsoft consideration in terms of purchase, right? This kind of experience, like not having access to a device now for almost a month and having no way to get through to anybody at the company that is supposed to provide support for specifically this situation, this issue, right? It is their responsibility to deal with this particular issue. And they refuse to do it. I mean, refuse. They have not been helpful, right? There's one person who seemed to be helpful, but her best solution, because unfortunately, even though she's a real person, her entire job is to read from a script as though she's a robot. So what's the point of even having her doing her job if she can't actually do anything outside of the script, right? But at least it was okay. I was able to speak to a person, but the person confirmed to me that all I could do was wait more time and try again later, and then try to call them back to see if they could escalate the issue. But literally, I can't even reach them to escalate the issue. So, basically, she accomplished nothing other than to make me wait and become more frustrated. And as much as she was a nice person on the phone, and it's not her fault that that's their company policy, the company made her tell me information which accomplished nothing. So that's the quick update about Microsoft and terrible marketing to existing customers, terrible customer service to existing existing companies and customers. They don't even let paid customers talk to them. I mean, I can imagine if I was trying to provide a service to a customer and I didn't let them talk to me, that they wouldn't be customers for very long. And my guess is if they continue to do this and enough people get fed up with it and stop using their services and choose to use either, who knows, Apple or some Linux product or something completely different, eventually it will hurt at least their retail sales. And maybe that's what they want. Maybe they don't want retail customers anymore. Could very well be. Could be that they want to phase out retail customers, and this is an easy way to do it. But even when you call into the business lines, and yes, I checked, even that they've automated to the point where you can't get through. Right? Yeah, you can type in your customer number as a business and all that, and you can leave a message, and in theory they'll call you back. But guess what? It's been a week and a half. They've not called me back on my business customer number. But this issue isn't about the business customer number. It's specifically about a retail customer number, and they have not gotten back to me about that. So yes, I can leave a number for them to call me back on their business line. But even so, when they call back and say, about the business customer number, and I tell them, well, actually, it's about my retail thing, guess what they'll do? They'll either say, well, we can't help you, and thank you, and hang up, or they will attempt to route me to the retail line, which will, of course, be the voice loop. How do I know that? Because it's happened to me before. I'm not making this video because this is the first time it's happened to me. This has happened before with a different device in a different place, but the same company, right? Microsoft. So that is the message for you. Microsoft, if you're listening, if you're watching, or if anybody's watching that knows somebody at Microsoft, or anybody's watching that can help amplify this message to get a message through to Microsoft, I'd really appreciate it. If you could let them know that I need to be contacted, they can find me on my LinkedIn or my Twitter. Just, my name, Yasha Harari, on LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook or whatever. Message me there on Blue Sky. Message me. And hopefully I will get this resolved. Until then, my Microsoft device is SOL. All right, folks. That's it. Peace.